The latest OPAR rankings have been released, which means that there are a lot more matchup scenarios that everyone would kind of like to see. But here's mine. I would love to hear yours in the comments below. First matchup, super heavies right-handed, Sage Barlow, Cameron Smith. Two young, fast-hitting tanks. Cameron is a fellow teammate of mine, and I have never witnessed such an expedient progress than I have with this young guy. He sticks with it and gets himself out there. He will be nationally ranked. Sage Barlow distinctly impressed me in the Toledo tournament from a couple of weeks ago. Flash pinning the steel flop press of Mike Innes, defeating him 3-0, as well as plowing through his competition and even slowing down the likes of Brandon Elsesser. Guaranteed heavy-hitting matchup between him and Cameron. So still sticking around the big boy class, going left-handed. Number 1, Tyler Irwin. Number 2, DJ Fenton. I'll be honest, prior to us starting OPAR, I have not heard of Tyler, but I was very privileged to see all the footage of him being this unstoppable force to where he makes every match look effortless. And taking down one of Kentucky's top pullers, Paul Hughes, was convincing enough for me to say, this guy is pretty elite on a state level. DJ I've known for about several years and has shown incredible power in every event. He has always either won or placed against the nation's best pullers. No doubt, he deserves a lot more spotlight. Like Tyler, he makes every match look effortless with his concrete of a hand, which, by the way, gave Chris Chandler a run for his money. Next up in the 154 righty, Chris Louis Sr. and Michael Pastorek. These two had a war back at PAF Omega of Ohio. I mean, it was sheer luck that we initially ranked them one within each other, but after seeing this matchup, I mean, I was intrigued to see more. Louis, a seasoned veteran whose hand can be a threat to anyone at any given time. Pastorek has a great deal of tenacity, and having practicing with him myself, he is deceivingly strong inside. I would be very surprised if this does not ultimately go 3-2, one puller or the other. Now let's move on to a ladies matchup. Lexi Koenig, daughter of top puller Josh Koenig, against Bethany Ritchie. I think the best way to sum up Lexi is this. Once she had 2 softball practices in one day. Same afternoon she pulls in a tournament and wins. Although at 18, her knowledge is that of a veteran, and even much more mature aged female pullers look up to her regarding her top roll power, ability, and speed. Bethany is a relatively new rising up-and-comer. With each puller, she has the hand control each time. Regardless of where the match goes, I'm not seeing anyone at her weight take control of the match. She's also engaged to the elite-leveled Doug Allen, and she is just getting started, and under his guidance, we know she is in great hands and will give any woman in this country a real run. The next match I'd really like to see takes place in arguably the most competitive weight class the state has. Number 5, Niles Anderson. Number 4, Richard Calero. My fellow teammate Niles has been super hungry to rise, and he sure has shown how much of a force he is to be reckoned with. He has had very notable wins amongst the best in the tri-state and is not slowing down anytime soon. Once he stops you center, you are 99.9% likely not going to win against this brute. Now granted, Niles has pulled with Calero before, with Calero coming out on top ultimately, but Calero's stature in itself will intimidate you. If that's not enough, he shows it with the strength of his wrist to top roll you as well as provide the intense holding power, even if you manage to get over to his side, if you are lucky enough. Now finally, a main card that I would pay to see. 176 righty, top puller Josh Koenig, and the one just creeping above him, Chris Mowry. Josh Koenig, founder of Team Brothers in Arms, 2019 Michigan State champion. This whole tri-state knows Josh. With his world record-breaking grip strength, you cannot top roll this guy. It is just as challenging trying to hook him. With his wrist power out-leveraging you, only amongst the elite can even stand a chance against this puller with the potential we all have yet to see. Chris Mowry has impressed me with no end in sight. One of the thickest hands I felt to this day, not to mention an agile puller that'll hook you before you even have time to react on the go. He defeated top 20 North American puller Zach Lee back in January, made top 4 in the Arnold Classic this year, defeating Greg Gray twice. No doubt this match is deserving of the main card. I'm very curious to find out what matches you'd like to see. Don't forget to subscribe for the latest.